Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the Delta 70mm disc lock. This was sold by Aldi for about $8 Australian. So about $6.75 American. Or, yeah, maybe 4.5p if you will. Just going to whip out my quick generic cutting knife boy. Open this boy up. Now this was quite a frustrating lock to unpick. Took me about just over 10 minutes to pick this lock. So, look, it was in between. The reason why this video is muted instead of how I usually do the couple other lock picking videos I did is because my daughter was being a little poo head at the time. So yeah, I had to stop recording a couple of times, which is fair enough, you know, full-time gig being a dad and all. But yeah, so I decided to mute it and do a voiceover instead. Whip out the old eBay Chinesium. And I start off with just the basic torque tool and try a bit of single picking. As you'll see, this is quite unsuccessful for a while. Yeah, I'm just going to speed this up for a little bit. So it did take me about 13 minutes. Let's shave a couple of minutes off. Let's say 11 minutes in between me getting up a couple of times to see what was going on, what she's upset about. So give the missus a hand. I'm just going to speed this little next bit up until a couple of minutes before I manage to pick the lock. Hey guys, welcome to speed mode. So yeah, this is recorded in 3 times motion for the next couple of minutes. So get a bit frustrated here with it a couple of times and just like put the key in a few times just to make sure the lock actually works and I'm turning it the right way. I'm just like, no, I'm not picking it wrong. No, it's just yeah, the lock just doesn't work. After I picked it though, the lock was like jammed and wouldn't actually accept its key back in its hole. So I cut it out of the video, but essentially I like jammed the key back in and then smashed it on the table until it accepts its key again. Alright, now still picking away here. As you can see, this is no master lock. This is none of that cheap stuff. It's just well, it is cheap. It is physically cheap, but honestly, comparing this to picking a master lock, you can't even compare the two. I don't think there's any false gates, but the way that they've sort of jagged the actual keyhole actually makes it very awkward to try and sort of like jimmy that pick around. So you've kind of almost got to like pull the pick all the way out to sort of, I mean, unless you have a better pick set, which is very, yeah. So here I try a bit of raking. My rake's pretty thick though. It's not actually like a rake for a padlock sort of thing. It was actually one for a car, so it was two-sided. And then I just snapped one off. Alright, so getting pretty close here. As you can see, I've slowed it back down to 1 times speed again. Yeah, and eventually, like when it comes open, I wasn't even expecting it to come open. You know, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to figure out something else to upload this week because this might not be working out. So yeah, unboxed and picked in under 15 minutes, let's say. But it was, yeah, it took pretty much most of that 15 minutes. So it took about 13 odd minutes, let's say, of active picking. And I think that if you locked your bike up at the shop with this, you'd be well and truly back at your bike after getting some bread and milk, ready to throw some hands. You can see it starts to come a little bit there, but then I'll let go. And right around here, get frustrated again. So I just got to check that the lock actually works, you know, guys, because it can't be my fault. Yep, just open and close it a few times. Still completely closed, obviously. I was thinking that, like, I was like, oh, when I picked it, was it actually all the way closed? Because I tried to do it again afterwards for a couple of minutes, but then yeah, daughter just went into full tantrum mode, so I stopped recording at that point and went down and gave my wife a hand. It was after the first time. Yeah, and then just come across to here. Try and get this little one in. Go the bigger size. So once I've got this bigger size in, I stuff this one in and it just barely fits. And I think either by pure luck and lack of skill, then I finally managed to get the damn thing open. And honestly, this isn't one that I'm hoping to retry anytime soon, honestly. Yeah, finally got him. But yeah, I ended up having to smash the key like into the table after this to get the key back in to set the key.